Hare Krishna, my friends. Welcome to Bhaktiville. We're here in Bhaktiville, ready for Srimad Bhagavatam. In last week's reading of Srimad Bhagavatam, hang on, I've got a notice here from my friend. He says, okay. All right. So, in last week's reading of Srimad Bhagavatam, we completed reading the 6 questions of the sages there. So, in summary, and this is my summary, they are 1, what is the ultimate good? What's the best thing you could be doing? And 2, how do the scriptures direct us in self-realization or in understanding ourselves? 3, why did Lord Krishna come? 4, how did he create the world? 5, who are his incarnations? And 6, where has spirituality gone now that Krishna is gone? So not only were the sages asking these questions for themselves, but for future generations and for us. These are the questions that that should be asked while pursuing our own path of self-realization. So tonight we're in chapter 2, where these questions will start to be answered. We're on text 3, page 106 of the PDF, or page 85 of the book. But, of course, before we get started, let's sing some stuff. Let's sing some verses. So up there on the board, we have the 4 verses that we sing beforehand. So you can, this is like sing along time. Let's sing along. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. O my Lord, the all-pervading personality of Godhead, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim sarasvatim vyasam tato jayam udirayat. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead Narayan, unto Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Shrinvatam Svakata Krishna, Punya Shravana Kirtanaha, Hridyantasto Hyabhadrani, Vidunoti Suhrit Satam. Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, who is the Paramatma, the Supersoul, in everyone's heart, and the benefactor of the truthful devotee, cleanses desire for material enjoyment from the heart of the devotee, who has developed the urge to hear his messages, which are in themselves virtuous when properly heard and chanted. That was a message from our friend Kandita. And the last one, Nashta prayeshva bhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. By regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam and by rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. So let me also offer my obeisances to Srila Prabhupada. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namani. I offer my respectful obeisances unto His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, who is very dear to Lord Krishna, having taken shelter at his lotus feet, and to all the devotees here and around the universe. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. I also offer my respectful obeisances unto the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord. They are just like desire trees and can fulfill the desires of everyone, and they are full of compassion for the fallen conditioned souls. All right, let me just check what our friend has to say. She's unable to come tonight. Sorry, we'll miss you if you're listening to this later. Kandita, we miss you. All right, so let's go ahead and get started, and we'll do this in the version that in the way that Srila Prabhupada used to do it in the temple. For any reading, he would have the Sanskritist, usually Pradyumna, read word for word, read each word, and have the attending devotees respond. So you can respond online. So here we go, text 3. Ya svabhavam, ya svabhavam, akila rutisaram, akila shrutisaram, ekam. So one whole line. Ya Svanubhavam Akila Shruti Saram Ekam. Second line. Adhyatmadipan. Adhyatmadipan. Atiti Tirshatam. Atiti Tirshatam. Tamo Undam. Tamo Undam. Adhyatmadipam. Atiti Tirshatam. Tamo Undam. Third line. Sam Sharinam Karunayaha Karunanayaha Purana Guhyam Sam Saranam Karunayaha Guhyam. Let's do that one over again. Sam Sharinam Karunayaha Purana Guhyam. Last line. Tam Vyas Sunum Tam Vyasa Sunum Upayami Gurum Muninam Upayami Gurum Muninam. All right, the whole thing. Tam Vyasa Sunum Upayami Gurum Muninam. All right, let's add a little tune to it and sing it all together. Ya svabhavam akila jruti saram ekam adhyatmadipam aditi tirshatam tamondam samsharinam karunaya purana kuyam tam vyasa sunam upayami gurum muninam. So it's a little bit longer than our regular shloka. It's a different meter. I just kind of use the same tune and just kind of glide through it there. All right, word for word. Yaha, he who, swabhavam, self-assimilated or experienced. Akila, all around. Shruti, Vedas. Sadam, cream. Ekam, the only one. Adhyatma, transcendental. Deepam, torchlight. Atitatir shatam, desiring to overcome. Tama undam, deeply dark material existence. Samsarinam, of the materialistic men. Karunaya, out of causeless mercy. Aha, said. Purana, supplementary to the Vedas. Guhyam, very confidential. Tam, unto him. Vyasa, Sunam, son of Vyasadeva. Upayami, let me offer my obeisances. Gurum, spiritual master. Muninam, of the great sages. Translation. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto him, Shuka, the spiritual master of all sages, the son of Vyasadeva, who, out of his great compassion for those gross materialists who struggle to cross over the darkest regions of material existence, spoke this Purana, a supplement to the Vedas, the cream of Vedic knowledge, after having personally assimilated it by experience. Purport. In this prayer, Srila Sutta Goswami practically summarizes the complete introduction of Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam, excuse me. Sorry. Srimad Bhagavatam is the natural supplementary commentary on the Vedanta Sutras. The Vedanta Sutras, or the Brahma Sutras, were compiled by Vyasadeva with a view to presenting just the cream of Vedic knowledge. Srimad Bhagavatam is the natural commentary on this cream. Srila Shukadeva Goswami was a thoroughly realized master of the Vedanta Sutra, and consequently, he also personally realized the commentary, Srimad Bhagavatam. And just to show his boundless mercy upon bewildered materialistic men who want to cross completely over nescience, he recited for the first time this confidential knowledge. So, Bhaktiville is noticing some differences between our versions, but if we could all use the version that's there in the box, then we'll be good. So we're on chapter 2, verse 3. He says he's lost. Chapter 2, verse 3. Really? Huh. He says it's the same version. Well, maybe it's me. So Canto 1, chapter 2, verse 3 is what we just read. And it starts out, Yaha Svabhavam. Yeah, Yaha Svabhavam. Are we good? Bhaktiville, are we good now? The verse I just read started out with Yasvabhavam, Svanubhavam, Svanubhavam. All right, so we're going to move on to the next verse. No, I don't hear you because I have my sound turned off. Go ahead, speak. What were you saying? You can go ahead and speak. Tell me what you're... So the verse does start as you say, Yasvanubhavam. Yeah, that's okay. 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 Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto him, Shuka, the spiritual master of all sages, the son of Vyasadeva, who, out of his great compassion for those gross materialists who struggle to cross over the darkest regions of material existence, spoke this Purana, supplement to the Vedas, the cream of Vedic knowledge, after having personally assimilated it by experience. Okay, I will double check what version I'm reading when we finish tonight. So I apologize. But I did read through the whole purport, I think. Maybe not. Did I or not? I'll read. Okay. Okay. We'll just read it over. So, purport. In this prayer, Srila Sutta Goswami practically summarizes the complete introduction of Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam is the natural supplementary commentary on the Vedanta Sutras. The Vedanta Sutras, or the Brahma Sutras, were compiled by Vyasadeva with a view to presenting just the cream of Vedic knowledge. Srimad Bhagavatam is the natural commentary on this cream. Srila Shukadeva Goswami was a thoroughly realized master of the Vedanta Sutra, and consequently he also personally realized the commentary, Srimad Bhagavatam. And just to show his boundless mercy upon bewildered materialistic men who want to cross completely over nescience, he recited for the first time this confidential knowledge. There's no point in arguing that a materialistic man can be happy. No materialistic creature, be he the great Brahma or an insignificant ant, can be happy. Everyone tries to make a permanent plan for happiness, but everyone is baffled by the laws of material nature. Therefore, the materialistic world is called the darkest region of God's creation. Yet the unhappy materialists can get out of it simply by desiring to get out of it. Unfortunately, they are so foolish that they do not want to escape. Therefore, they are compared to the camel who relishes thorny twigs because he likes the taste of the twigs mixed with blood. He does not realize that it is his own blood and that his tongue is being cut by the thorns. Similarly, to the materialist, his own blood is as sweet as honey, and although he is always harassed by his own material creations, he does not wish to escape. Such materialists are called karmis. Out of hundreds of thousands of karmis, only a few may feel tired of material engagement and desire to get out of the labyrinth. Such intelligent persons are called jnanis. The Vedanta Sutra is directed to such jnanis, but Srila Vyasadeva, being the incarnation of the Supreme Lord, could see the misuse of the Vedanta Sutra by unscrupulous men, and therefore he personally supplemented the Vedanta Sutra with the Bhagavad Purana. It is clearly said that this Bhagavatam is the original commentary on the Brahma Sutras. Srila Vyasadeva also instructed the Bhagavatam to his own son, Srila Shukadeva Goswami, who was already at the liberated stage of transcendence. Srila Shukadeva realized it personally and then explained it. By the mercy of Srila Shukadeva, the Bhagavad Vedanta Sutra is available for all those sincere souls who want to get out of material existence. Srimad Bhagavatam is the one unrivaled commentary on Vedanta Sutra. Sripad Shankaracharya intentionally did not touch it because he knew that it would be difficult for him to surpass the natural commentary. He wrote his Shariraka Pasya, and his so-called followers deprecated the Bhagavatam as some new presentation. One should not be misled by such propaganda directed against the Bhagavatam by the Mayavada school. From this introductory shloka, the beginning student should know that Srimad Bhagavatam is the only transcendental literature meant for those who are Paramahamsas and completely freed from the material disease called malice. The Mayavadis are envious of the personality of Godhead, despite Sripad Shankaracharya's admission that Narayana, the personality of Godhead, is above the material creation. The envious Mayavadi cannot have access to the Bhagavatam, but those who are really anxious to get out of this material existence may take shelter. Lost my place. Take shelter of this Bhagavatam because it is uttered by the liberated Srila Shukadeva Goswami. It is the transcendental torchlight by which one can see perfectly the transcendental absolute truth realized as Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. Text 4. All right, let's see how we do with this one. We just chanted this verse, so we'll just read it all the way through. This is one of the verses that we just chanted at the beginning of our reading. So we'll just chant all the way through. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim sarasvatim vyasam tato jayam udirayat. But we didn't have the word for word, so here's word for word. Narayanam, the personality of Godhead. Namaskritya, after offering respectful obeisances. Naram Chaeva, and Narayana Rishi. Narottamam, the supermost human being. Devim, the goddess. Sarasvatim, the mistress of learning. Vyasam, Vyasadev. Tataha, thereafter. Jayam, all that is meant for conquering. Udirayat, he announced. Translation. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is our very means of conquest, I offer my respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead, Narayana, unto Narayana Rishi, the supermost human being, and unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Purport. All the Vedic literatures and the Puranas are meant for conquering the darkest region of material existence. The living being is in the state of forgetfulness of his relation with God due to his being overly attracted to material sense gratification from time immemorial. His struggle for existence in the material world is perpetual, and it is not possible for him to get out of it by making plans. Excuse me. If he at all wants to conquer this perpetual struggle for existence, he must reestablish his eternal relationship with God. And one who wants to adopt such remedial measures must take shelter of literatures such as the Vedas and the Puranas. Foolish people say that the Puranas have no connection with the Vedas. However, the Puranas are supplementary explanations of the Vedas, intended for different types of men. All men are not equal. There are men who are conducted by the mode of goodness, others who are under the mode of passion, and others who are under the mode of ignorance. The Puranas are so divided that any class of men can take advantage of them and gradually regain their lost position and get out of the hard struggle for existence. Srila Sutta Goswami shows the way of chanting the Puranas. This may be followed by persons who aspire to be preachers of the Vedic literatures and the Puranas. Srimad Bhagavatam is the spotless Purana. It is especially meant for them who are desirous to get out of the material entanglement permanently. Text number 5. Munayaha sadhu prishto ham. Munaya sadhu prishto ham. So I just want to say something about the word prishto. So the R, the S, and the T all have little dots underneath them. So they're all in the same family, same group. And they all have you put your tongue kind of behind your teeth on that little gum space behind your teeth. So prishto hum. So munaya sadhu prishtoham. Next line. Bhavadpir loka mangalam. Bhavadbir loka mangalam. Third line. Yat krita Krishna samprashno. Yat krita Krishna samprashno. Yenatma suprasidati. Yanatma suprasidati. I like this verse, it's easy. Let's sing it all together. Munaya sado prishtoham bhavadbir loka mangalam yatkrita Krishna samprasno yenatma suprasidati. Word for word. Munayaha, of the sages. Sadhu, this is relevant. Relevant. What is that word? Prishtaha, question. Aham, myself. Bhavad, bihi, by all of you. Loka, the world. Mangalam, welfare. Yat, because. Kritaha, made. Krishna, the personality of Godhead. Samprashnaha, relevant question. Yena, by which. Atma, self. Suprasidati, completely pleased. Translation. O sages, I have been justly questioned by you. Your questions are worthy because they relate to Lord Krishna and so are of relevance to the world's welfare. Only questions of this sort are capable of completely satisfying the self. So this is the corollary to you can't ask any, there is no stupid question. So if your question is in relation to Krishna, then it benefits everyone. So, purport. It is stated therein before, in the Bhagavatam, the absolute truth is to be known. So the questions of the sages of Naimishvaranya are proper and just because they pertain to Krishna, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Absolute Truth. In Bhagavad Gita, the Personality of Godhead says that in all the Vedas, there is nothing but the urge for searching after him. Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita 15:15. And that verse, I'll just read it to you. I am seated in everyone's heart, and from me come remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. By all the Vedas am I to be known. Indeed, I am the compiler of Vedanta, and I am the knower of the Vedas. So, just to let you know, Bhaktiville says now we're in sync. What I'm reading is what's in his version, but we'll get this whole version thing figured out. All right, next paragraph. The whole world is full of questions and answers. The birds, beasts, and men are all busy in the matter of perpetual questions and answers. In the morning, the birds in the nest become busy with questions and answers. In the evening, also the same birds come back and again become busy with questions and answers. The human being, unless he is fast asleep at night, is also busy with questions and answers. The businessmen in the market are busy with questions and answers. And so also the lawyers in court and the students in schools and colleges. The legislators in the parliament are also busy with questions and answers. The politicians and the press representatives are busy with questions and answers. Although they go on making such questions and answers for their whole lives, they are not at all satisfied. Satisfaction of the soul can only be obtained by questions and answers on the subject of Krishna. Krishna is our most intimate master, friend, father, or son, and object of conjugal love. Forgetting Krishna, we have created so many objects of questions and answers, but None of them are able to give us complete satisfaction. All things but Krishna give temporary satisfaction only. So if we are to have complete satisfaction, we must take to the questions and answers about Krishna. We cannot live for a moment without being questioned, or without giving answers. Because the Srimad Bhagavatam deals with questions and answers that are related to Krishna, we can derive the highest satisfaction only by reading and hearing this transcendental literature. One should learn the Srimad Bhagavatam and make an all-around solution to all problems pertaining to social, political, or religious matters. Srimad Bhagavatam and Krishna are the sum total of all things. I'm going to stop for a moment and have some water. All right, next verse, text 6. Savai pumsam parodharmo Savai pumsam parodharmo Yato bhaktir adukshaje Yato bhaktir adukshaje Ahaituki apratihata Ahaituki apratihata Yayatma suprasidati Yayatma suprasidati. All right, let's add a tune. Savai pumsam parodharmo Yato bhaktir adukshaje Ahaituki apratihata Yayatma suprasidati. I just want to say something about, I'll get it here in the word for word. Sa, that, vai, certainly, pumsam, for mankind, paraha, sublime, dharmaha, occupation, yataha, by which, bhaktihi, devotional service, adokshaje, unto the transcendence. So I just want to say that DH that's in that word, it's one letter. So it's not ad hokshaje, it's adokshaje. A little bit of a breath, the H in there indicates a little breath. So adokshaje. Ahaituki, causeless, apratihata, unbroken, yaya, by which, atma, self, samprasidati, completely satisfied. Translation. The supreme occupation or dharma for all humanity is that by which men can attain. Oh, excuse me. I get the hiccups now. Restart over. The supreme occupation, dharma, for all humanity is that by which men can attain to loving devotional service unto the transcendent Lord. Such devotional service must be unmotivated and uninterrupted in order to completely satisfy the self. Purport. In this statement, Sri Sutta Goswami answers the first question of the sages of Naimisharanya. The sages asked him to summarize the whole range of revealed scriptures and present the most essential part so that fallen people, or the people in general, might easily take it up. The Vedas prescribe two different types of occupation for the human being. One is called pravritti marg, or the path of sense enjoyment, and the other is called nivritti marg, or the path of renunciation. The path of enjoyment is inferior, but the path of sacrifice for the supreme cause is superior. The material existence of the living being is a diseased Krishna. Let me start that sentence over. The material existence of the living being is a diseased condition of actual life. Actual life is spiritual existence, or Brahma Bhuta, existence where life is eternal, blissful, and full of knowledge. Material existence is temporary, illusory, and full of miseries. There is no happiness at all. There is just the futile attempt to get rid of the miseries, and temporary cessation of misery is falsely called happiness. Therefore, the path of progressive material enjoyment, which is temporary, miserable, and illusory, is inferior. But devotional service of the Supreme Lord, which leads one to eternal, blissful, and all-cognizant life, is called the superior quality of occupation, or dharma. This is sometimes polluted when mixed with the inferior quality. For example, adoption of devotional service for material gain is certainly an obstruction to the progressive path of renunciation. Renunciation, or abnegation for ultimate good, is certainly a better occupation than enjoyment in the diseased condition of life. Such enjoyment only aggravates the symptoms of disease and increases its duration. Therefore, devotional service of the Lord must be pure in quality, i.e., without the least desire for material enjoyment. One should therefore accept the superior quality of occupation in the form of devotional service of the Lord, without any tinge of unnecessary desire, creative action, and philosophical speculation. This alone can lead one to perpetual solace in his service. We have purposely denoted dharma as occupation because the root meaning of the word dharma is that which sustains one's existence. A living being's sustenance of existence is to coordinate his activities with his eternal relation with the Supreme Lord Krishna. Krishna is the central pivot of living beings, and he is the all-attractive living entity or eternal form amongst all other living beings or eternal forms. Each and every living being has his eternal form in the spiritual existence, and Krishna is the eternal attraction for all of them. Krishna is the complete whole, and everything else is his part and parcel. The relation is one of the servant and the served. It is transcendental and is completely distinguished from our experience in material existence. This relation of servant and the served is the most congenial form of intimacy. One can realize it as devotional service progresses. Everyone should engage himself in that transcendental, loving service of the Lord, even in the present conditional state of material existence. That will gradually give one the clue to actual life and please him to complete satisfaction. Text 7. Vasudeve Bhagavati Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojitaha Bhakti Yoga Prayojitaha Janayati Ashu Janayati Ashu Vairagyam Janayati Ashu Vairagyam Jnanam Chahyad Ahaitukam Jnanam Chayad Ahaitukam. Let's go ahead and sing it. Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita Janayatyashu Vairagyam Jnanam cha yad ahaitukam, word for word, Vasudeve unto Krishna, Bhagavati unto the personality of Godhead, Bhakti Yogaha, contact of devotional service, Prayojitaha, being applied, Janayati, does produce, Ashu, very soon, Vairagyam, detachment, Jnanam, knowledge, Cha, and, yet, that which, Ahai to come, causeless. Translation. By rendering devotional service unto the personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. Please excuse me. Start over. By rendering devotional service unto the personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, one immediately acquires causeless knowledge and detachment from the world. Purport. Those who consider devotional service of the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna to be something like material emotional affairs may argue that in the revealed scriptures, sacrifice, charity, austerity, knowledge, mystic powers, and other similar processes of transcendental realization are recommended. According to them, bhakti, or devotional service of the Lord, is meant for those who cannot perform the high-grade activities. Generally, it is said that the bhakti cult is meant for the Shudras, Vaishyas, and the less intelligent woman class. But that is not the actual fact. The bhakti cult is the topmost of all transcendental activities, and therefore it is simultaneously sublime and easy. It is sublime for the pure devotees who are serious about getting in contact with the Supreme Lord, and it is easy for the neophytes who are just on the threshold of the house of bhakti. It is a great science to achieve the contact of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, and it is open for all living beings, including the Shudras, Vaishyas, women, or even those lower than the Shudras, who are called low-born. So what to speak of the high-class men, like the qualified Brahmanas and the great self-realized kings? The other high-grade activities, designated as sacrifice, charity, austerity, etc., are all corollary factors following the pure and scientific bhakti cult. The principles of knowledge and detachment are two important factors on the path of transcendental realization. The whole spiritual process leads to perfect knowledge of everything, material and spiritual, and the results of such perfect knowledge are that one becomes detached from material affection and becomes attached to spiritual activities. Becoming detached from material things does not mean become inert altogether, as men with a poor fund of knowledge might think. Naishkarma means not undertaking such activities that will produce good or bad effects. Negation does not mean negation of the positive. Negation of the non-essentials does not mean negation of the essential. Similarly, detachment from material forms does not mean nullifying the positive form. The bhakti cult is meant for realization of the positive form. When the positive form is realized, the negative forms are automatically eliminated. Therefore, with the development of the bhakti cult, with the application of the positive service to the positive form, one naturally becomes detached from inferior things, and he becomes attached to superior things. Similarly, the bhakti cult, being the supermost occupation of the human being, leads him out of material sense enjoyment. That is the sign of a pure devotee. He is neither a foot, or he's not a foot. He is neither a fool nor is he engaged in the inferior energies, nor does he have material values. This is not possible by dry reasoning. It actually happens by the grace of the Almighty. In conclusion, one who is a pure devotee has all other good qualities, namely knowledge, detachment, etc. But one who has only knowledge or detachment is not necessarily well acquainted with the principles of the bhakti cult. Bhakti is the supermost occupation of the human being. So we'll stop there. Any questions or comments? Okay, I'm glad. I'm glad. Thank you. And all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare, Hare, Hare Krishna. All right, so let me